Okay, Recording video on Friday, the 25th of September 2020. It's just coming up to 9:58 a.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So you've not heard from me for a while, probably 3 weeks or so. It's because we've been traveling. We're finally here in France, settled, came through Canada, had a good time. But always with traveling, I'm kind of unsettled with my trading, plus can't rely on decent internet connections necessarily. So really missed this last kind of sell-off. Should have been trading it a little bit more diligently, but I didn't. However, today's an important day. I think things are coming together for a cyclical low in the equities markets from which we're going to get a little bit of a bounce, and I'll show you what I'm seeing on my charts. So first of all, I'm going to go down from the daily charts all the way down to the 15-minute chart. This is using at es.d. So this is day session only of the E-mini, and it just allows us to see the trends, as we go down the different time frames, each time by a factor of 3. So you go down from a daily chart to a 135-minute chart to a 45-minute chart and then a 15-minute chart. And although this sell-off has been really nasty, it came out of two things. First of all, when we bust to new highs on the equities, on the S&P, it was all being led by the amateurs here. You can see here all the Rambo patterns kind of leading up to these highs. So it was a weak kind of move to those highs, and it also coincided with cyclical resistance on the highest time frame coming in. So you can see that there. We bounced off cyclical support in the highest time frame, and we came into cyclical resistance. And it's been a nasty kind of sell-off. You can see better momentum here has traded us back down to the kind of levels that we had back in January, February with the sell-off, minus 5.1 million. But it's all been in with the background of this very strong uptrend. As soon as we broke into this uptrend above resistance on the lowest and intermediate time frames, for this to fully complete, we need to see pullback to end of trends on both of these time frames. We saw one on the lowest time frame, but we kept on busting up through it. And what we're coming back down to at the moment is putting in another pullback support level on the daily chart that will go pullback end of trend. And eventually what we need to do in order to test these highs is put in a pullback to end of trend on the intermediate time frame. So I don't see this, it's been a very nasty 10% sell-off correction at this point, but I still see, before the whole thing rolls over into a confirmed kind of downtrend, we've got to play out all of those pullback to end of trends, those kind of trending signals. So what we've done at the moment is found support in the daily chart, looks like, with that pullback level kind of coming. So let's back it down a couple of time frames then. So we go down to the 135-minute chart. You can see here's the peak that we had. We've broken back down. Blue professional bar kind of coming in down here towards the 3200s. There's that pullback in an uptrend support come in, and also a little support on that 135-minute chart time frame as well. So, and it's all showing red, so it's all saying it's like this is still a confirmed uptrend in this time frame. All we've had is just a retracement at this point. So we've got a couple of subcyclical supports kind of coming in at this time frame, and this 40, 50, 32, 40, 32, 50 level, absolutely key. Back it down another time frame to the 45-minute charts. Here we actually broke into downtrends on this time frame, but again you can see all of these cyclical support levels kind of coming in here. So we got this highest time frame, intermediate time frame, and the lowest time frame all kind of coming in here. So we've got a triple setting up here. We've had exhaustion sell at this point on the 45-minute chart. So cyclically it's an important kind of point. And then lastly, backing it down to the 15-minute chart. Here you can see, we had a really nasty kind of downtrend. We broke into this confirmed downtrend, exhaustion selling. We fuss around here. We come back down again. This is exhaustion selling, getting this move going on this second leg down. And then here we put in exhaustion selling, kind of finishing this thing off with blue professional bars coming at these lows, with the low yesterday down at 3200 and the little test down today. And then when you look at the cyclical patterns here, this is cyclical support on this highest time frame, intermediate time frame, and I think there's a little end of trend just sitting underneath this here. You can just barely make that out there. That's an end of trend signal gone off here, and this is a triple support going on. So you can see all of those numbers, SR1, 2, and 3, are all red. So cyclically down here, we're at a really important level. So it means on all of these time frames, 15-minute chart all the way up to the 45, the 135, and to some extent the daily chart here, we've got this cyclical support area kind of confluence coming together. And as far as the 15-minute charts are concerned, we've got our exhaustion cell, bullish divergence, flush patterns, blue professional bars kind of coming in. So what do we need to do in order to confirm this into an uptrend? We need to start breaking above resistances on the 15-minute charts whenever that goes in. I suppose that cyclical resistance is going to come in at some point today, kind of above this 3250 level. We'll also need to break above the 3280 here on the 15-minute chart. So that'll be interesting to see if that happens with today's activity. We're certainly testing and pressing down at this point with this morning's activity, and we bounced pretty hard from there. So let's see if we get that kind of confirmation with a break with today's activity into some strength, and that could signal that this downdraft that we've had for the last 2 weeks is kind of over for the time being. Interestingly, at the same time, I'm just looking at gold as well, that today looks like it's bottomed out, having had, again, a really nasty kind of sell-off over the last 2 or 3 weeks. So this is, I'm looking at a 2,000 tip bar chart of gold at GC, continuous contract here. And you can see here we were back up at just under the 2,000 kind of level, and we've kind of sold off really hard. But with today's activity down here this morning, we had a whole bunch of exhaustion sell signals down here. We'd had blue professional bars come in yesterday, or is that just the end of the day before sessions, and then testing down with amateur down bars here. This exhaustion buy was a short covering rally because we had a little bit of a spike with yesterday's activity, and we've come off from there and come down and put in our exhaustion sell bullish divergence patterns there. And on the sine wave patterns, we've got all kinds of good things going on here. So we put in all our pullback trends on the low and intermediate time frames. That was a little bit of strength. Again, that was short covering rally. Then we came back down and tested back down, and then have continued to break into an uptrend with all this strength kind of going on here. So confirmed uptrend for gold will be a break above 1871, 18, kind of. What is that pullback level? That is 1867 is the important level there. So, within the next $3 or $4 of where we are, getting above here will signal that, this downdraft in gold that we've had is over for the time being. We can rally in gold. And the reason for the rally in gold and the rally in equities at the same time is both kind of driven off the, kind of QE money printing argument. And as soon as we have excessive money printing, it means equities goes up and gold goes up in sync, and dollar index kind of comes off. So took profits on my long dollar index trade an hour ago, and just waiting to see if there's some kind of other opportunity to kind of get long into some of the Forex charts, and I'll kind of look at that at the end of the day. Anyway, so there we go. There's where we are at the moment, and today's a pretty important day, Friday the 25th. So let's see if the markets can hold and we can see the end of this downdraft and the beginning of the next kind of leg.